melt inside an ocean wave.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Oscar Film Forecast. It's been a while, and the Oscars are still about 4 months away, but there have been a lot of developments in the awards season since then. So we thought we'd come in with a little December episode before the holidays to give our updated predictions before we head into the new year of 2021. And I'm joined today by my co-host, Ben Campbell.
Oh, wonderful to be back.
Yes, wonderful. So we're going to start off. We're not doing individual categories this time since we're just updating our predictions, really. We're going to stick to the main 8 of picture, director, the 4 acting categories, and then the 2 screenplay categories. So starting off with Best Picture, do you want to go with your predictions first, Ben?
Yeah. So pretty much what I did was I made a list of every single film I think will be in the conversation for Oscar, maybe even throwing BAFTA, SAG, Critics' Choice, and Golden Globe as well. It's not a big list, but there's some kind of wild ones in here. But that's because some of them can get really wild. So number 1, Nomadland.
Definitely.
Pretty obvious. Back then it was one of those films that you said would be big, and some of those did fall away, like Dune, Ammonite, all those type of films kind of fell away. Nomadland always stayed there.
It did.
Trial of the Chicago 7 is my number 2. Mank is number 3. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom is number 4. One Night in Miami is number 5. The Father, Minari. I think all those are locks for Oscar nominations for Best Picture. The rest is where it kind of gets a little bit iffy for me. So next I have Tenet.
Ooh.
I don't know, but here's the thing. I really love Tenet. I just think it's really great. And with this whole Warner Brothers HBO Max situation, will the Academy like Christopher Nolan even more for coming out against them?
Yeah, maybe. I could see. It seems like most people in the industry, which are the people who vote on the awards, are upset with Warner Brothers. So I could see that, but I just honestly, I don't think it's personally a good enough movie to make it, but I think it's going to dominate a lot of the technical awards because it's really the only blockbuster, that and Wonder Woman, that will count for it.
And I also have Wonder Woman coming up, but that's just my biases coming through. But my next one is Soul, kind of obvious.
Yes.
We all have expected it. Next is Da 5 Bloods, which I know you love.
It's a good movie.
But I'm not sure anymore if it's a lock for Best Picture.
Yeah, I don't have it in my top 10 for Best Picture. I think it came out way too early. It's gonna have almost been a whole year before the ceremony that it came out.
And it's a bit insane, yeah. Well, instead of Da 5 Bloods, US versus Billie Holiday, I think could be big.
Yeah.
As well as News of the World.
Definitely, yeah. All of those. Yeah.
Those are all kind of the Oscar-y ones. Now I'm going to maybe go into some of the fan favorites that have potential to break through. So for some reason, this makes me really happy, but I am seeing a lot of buzz for Palm Springs.
Oh, yes.
Excellent film.
Great, yeah.
A lot of people are saying Golden Globes.
Definitely for the Golden Globes.
But I would just love to see it pop in there.
Yeah,
I'd love to see it pop in there for the Oscars. It would make me so happy. I have it. I think I have it for screenplay as well. Well, we'll get to that in a minute. But Palm Springs, I'd love to see it. Next is Pieces of a Woman.
Yes. I forget about that one. Besides for the acting categories.
I have it for acting because that's what everyone's saying. Everyone else says it's not as good of a film,
Yeah, that's what I've heard too.
Which is why it's not as high. But after that is Promising Young Woman, the Carey Mulligan film.
Yes. That came out on the film festivals a while ago, but I don't think it's released yet.
It is not. It was going to come out in April.
Yeah, right before COVID.
Yeah, God. Crazy. Promising Young Woman, I think, has potential. I love the cast. Carey Mulligan, Alison Brie is in it, and so is another guy from Glow. So I'm 100% watching it.
Yeah.
Happiest season I have up next.
I could see that at the
Is it
Globes.
yes, Golden Globes. That's kind of what I think for there. I really liked that movie. Thought it was really, really fun. One of the best Christmas films. One of my favorites now. But one of the best to come out in a very long time. There hasn't been a really good Christmas movie for a while. So I would say happiest season. I would give not a big shot, but I thought I had to say it. Wonder Woman 1984 is next because you all will all be able to watch it at home. And
Yes.
so I'm going to wonder if that will help. Will it help some of the Academy members who are very old and have to stay home and watch these films? Will that sway them a bit? I'd love to see it happen in Wonder Woman 1984. I get to see it in 3 days because I live overseas and we don't have HBO Max. So we get it early. And I'm over the moon excited. So fingers crossed for Wonder Woman. I have two more left.
Okay.
I'm not really sure about either of them. One is Malcolm and Marie.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I didn't think that was going to come out in time, but it's in February, I think.
Just before, I think it's at the very end of February.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I have reservations, but because no one's really talking about it now, but I suppose we'll see. It could be really good.
Definitely could be, yeah. Netflix has a lot on their hands.
They have a lot to promote.
Mm-hmm.
However, a film that I think was really good, but it's just a really big long shot, is The Assistant, the Julia Garner film.
Mm-hmm.
Very big long shot. Probably won't happen, but I still just thought I had to say it.
Yeah, I think, that came out a long time. That was like January, right?
But it has remained in the conversation. It keeps popping into the top 10 on iTunes. She's gotten some awards for it. It's gotten some buzz on some smaller. I think the Gotham Awards nominated it or something like that.
Oh.
Although I don't think they've happened. Maybe they have. I don't really know.
Yeah.
But I know that The Assistant got nominated for Best Picture at something.
Yeah, definitely could sneak in.
So that's it. That's all I have for Best Picture.
Okay. I have 10 picks right now. So at 10, I have U.S. versus Billie Holiday. I don't know much about it right now, besides it's from the guy, Lee Daniels. He's directed a few Oscar films before. Then there's The Father. That got good buzz. Minari, which also got good festival buzz. At 7, I have News of the World, which the reviews just came out for recently. And they don't say it's a great film, but they say it's like a audience-pleasing film, and the Academy seems to like those. At 6, much lower than I had it before. I think I had it at 1 the last time we did this, Mank. I saw it. I didn't like it that much. I think it has a very niche audience, and I don't think a movie with that niche of an appeal can get the majority of the Academy to vote for it.
I still haven't watched Mank yet.
Yeah, you really need to know a whole lot about Hollywood at the time and Citizen Kane and everything that happened in politics at the time for it to really work for you. You have to be a pretty big old school cinephile, and it's pretty not one of Fincher's best, so it definitely got knocked down in a lot of my predictions.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, so then at 5, I have Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. 4, I have One Night in Miami. 3, Trial of Chicago 7. 2, Nomadland. And at 1, I don't think it's the most likely to get nominated per se, but I don't know. I'm feeling like Soul could possibly win Best Picture.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. In a year like this year, I mean, the buzz, some critics have been able to see it early, and I've seen a lot of people saying it's like Pixar's best or it's a masterpiece or something. And just like last year, people would be like, oh, Parasite's a foreign film, so they'll just let it win the foreign film category. It won't go into the Best Picture category. that broke history, broke records. I could see that happening with the animated film this year. They may not just designate it to the animated category, and it could end up winning Best Picture. But that's bold. I don't think it's possible. I think it could possibly happen, but I don't think it's the likely choice right now.
It is very bold.
Where did you
I
have
have
it on
Soul.
your list?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9.
9, yeah.
I think it will be good.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I could see I don't know, Christmas time. I feel like families are going to watch it. I don't know how much of a family movie it could be per se. It seems like maybe it deals with more adult themes, but that could appeal to the Academy more.
I suppose the way I think of it is Klaus last year was an animated film that came out at Christmas. Got a lot of buzz, but I'm not sure. Now, obviously, Soul and Klaus, very different. You know, one of them is Pixar, another one is Netflix. But I still think I think Soul is a long shot to win, but a likely nominated. I would like to see an animated film win Best Picture, although we all know what film I would like to see win. That was Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yes.
10 out of 10 film right there. Soul would have to be really special. It could be.
Yeah.
It really could.
Yeah. I'm having trouble seeing what could win right now. I don't think Mank, which lots of people thought before was going to win, is going to win. Nomadland also seems like maybe a little too indie for the Academy. They don't let a lot of indie films, besides recently Moonlight, win Best Picture. One Night in Miami.
Well, that's what I was thinking a while ago.
You were thinking Nomadland?
I was thinking Nomadland was too indie, too fringe, kind of for the Academy. However, the more I've seen like the trailer, I don't know, I'm kind of feeling it.
It looks very good, and I think a lot of the Academy is going to like it. I just don't know if the older members are going to go for that kind of film. They like the more audience-pleasing fare.
Well, does that give something like maybe Ma Rainey a chance?
I think so, yeah, especially with the 2 performances in it. The actors make up a lot of the Academy, so I think if there's 2 Oscar-worthy performances, it could have a chance. I also think Trial of Chicago 7, which seems to be a pretty big crowd pleaser, and One Night in Miami too. I think those 2 also have good chances.
I mean, One Night in Miami, I don't see for a win because it just takes place in a hotel room, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's true.
Like of the entire film. So it has to be done really, really well to win Best Picture.
Yeah, it would. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for Best Picture. I feel like there's 10 or 11 that are pretty much the main pool that are going to be the nominees, but it's hard to tell who's going to be the winner right now. Any last comments on Best Picture?
Not really. I suppose some people are thinking the Ryan Murphy Netflix stuff could get through. I think that is impossible. Yeah. No way.
I could see The Prom at the Golden Globes, but that's really about it.
Maybe. I couldn't even finish The Boys in the Band. The Prom I watched last night, the only good parts about it were Meryl Streep, this really funny line she has in the film that genuinely had me in stitches. And then Joe Allen Pellman, who was amazing. Yeah. But everything else, the cinematography was very good.
Yeah.
So maybe there. But Matthew Labatique, I think, was arrested, so he couldn't accept his award.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, for beating up some guy.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know about cinematography then. It does have good cinematography though. I could see maybe costumes and stuff for that too.
Makeup.
Yeah. But the next category we're going to get into is Best Director. This is also an odd category. So my 5 picks for this are, at 5, I have Paul Greengrass for News of the World. 4, I have Regina King for One Night in Miami. 3, I have
Mhm.
Aaron Sorkin for Trial of Chicago 7. 2, I have David Fincher for Mank. And 1, I have Chloe Zhao for Nomadland. How is your best director list looking?
Pretty similar. Number 5 is Florian Zeller for The Father.
Yes, yeah.
4 is Lee Isaac Chung for Minari,
Hmm.
who I feel very good about.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Regina King, One Night in Miami. David Fincher for Mank, and Chloe Zhao for Nomadland.
Yeah. Yeah, we're missing 2 off, but I think those 2 spots are kind of interchangeable. I think Zhao, Fincher, and King are all pretty much locks to get nominated.
Yeah.
Aaron Sorkin, I just put that there because I think Trial of Chicago 7 is just a big overall contender. He's not a
Yeah.
great director, really. He's a great writer,
No, we
but
have not.
his directing could use some work. But I could see him still sneaking in there. And Paul Greengrass for News of the World, I don't know. That just seemed, the other ones seemed like maybe it's harder for indie directors to get in there sometimes than more of these mainstream Oscar bait movie directors.
Yeah.
So that's what I could see either Zeller or Chung getting in, but I don't know.
Well, I have 6 other kind of maybes
Yeah,
who
go ahead.
could, and I do have those 2 there, but my 6 is Christopher Nolan for Tenet.
Yeah. I
I
don't know
have him
about
there for
that.
2 reasons. A, because of what he pulled off, like the whole reverse shit, all that crazy stuff. He pulled off something, if you didn't like it, it was still amazing.
Yeah, it was very good.
To at least watch.
Definitely.
And also, with the whole HBO Max thing, stuff like that, will they want to reward him even more? Because if he's nominated, he will be like a David Fincher because he hasn't won yet either.
No, he hasn't. Yeah. He's only been nominated for Dunkirk. Yeah.
I thought he was nominated for Inception too, no?
No, that was the big snub that year. He was not nominated.
Oh, hey. Wow, that's insane.
Yeah. The Academy, yeah, they really only tend to nominate often for the Oscar fare kind of movies. Inception was seen as more of a blockbuster, so I think he had to kind of do a more Oscar-y kind of film to get nominated.
Yeah. Well, I hated Dunkirk.
I
Sorry,
wasn't a
everyone.
big
All
fan of
the
it.
Nolan nights.
I didn't like it that much.
My other two
1917
films,
was better.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
Way better. My other 2 are Aaron Sorkin and Paul Greengrass, just because they're them, you know. My other 3, though, are more exciting, and I'd like to see them instead. George C. Wolfe from Ma Rainey.
Yes.
You know, new person. I haven't really heard of him.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice if someone new get on the scene. I have next Spike Lee. Unlikely.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't see it happening right now.
No, but I think you still kind of have to mention him.
Yeah.
It's a big deal film. And my final pick is Emerald Fennell for Promising Young Woman.
Oh, interesting. Yeah,
I
that
think
one has been
Promising
on
Young
the
Woman,
rise.
It's either going to hit or it's not. You know? I just feel obligated to mention it.
Yeah, it is, I think, maybe a little too risky or modern of a subject matter for the older folks in the Academy, but she could definitely get in. I think also worth mentioning Lee Daniels for U.S. versus Billie Holiday. Yeah, I don't know much about that film right now, honestly. There's only been a few stills. Seems like an interesting subject matter, but it doesn't come out until very close to the deadline, so still a mystery.
Also, is Malcolm and Marie in black and white?
It looks like it. All the photos I've seen from it have been. So I think possibly, yeah.
Well, if that's the case, then
one location film. It all takes place in one house at one night.
That film will either be really good or really tedious.
They've done the Marriage Story comparison, which is interesting.
The what?
They compared it to Marriage Story.
Oh,
Netflix has.
That could be interesting, actually.
Yeah, I think it's about John David Washington is like a filmmaker, I think a director, and it's about him and his wife after they like leave the premiere of their movie and go home, and as the like critic reviews come in and stuff like that. So it could hit with some filmmakers maybe.
That could actually, yeah.
Interesting.
I can maybe
definitely.
see that.
Yeah. If you had to predict the winner right now, I would say Chloe Zhao, just because Chloe Zhao or Fincher, one of those two.
Chloe.
Yeah, I would go with Chloe right now too.
Although, we'll see who gets the better narrative.
Yeah.
Typically, right now, we would.
Not a lot of narratives right now forming. A little too early, but yeah, a lot can still change. Okay, so
we would have known. We would have really known by now what the whole setup would be.
Definitely.
But,
like December of last year, I don't think the Globes had happened yet, but we pretty much knew all of the main contenders, especially
the nominees.
Yeah, director last year was like, I think like 4 of them were pretty much a lock, and then the 5th spot was like a mystery, and then it went to Todd Phillips. Interesting.
As you should.
Interesting. But yeah, best director, definitely intriguing. So next we're going to go on to best actress. So for best actress at 5, I also watched The Prom last night, and I feel like just because they love her so much, Meryl Streep could definitely get in for that. So she's my 5. At 4, I still have Kate Winslet for Ammonite. That film has not been doing well.
Great.
Lost a lot of hype, but there's still good buzz for her. She's still high up in a lot of the rankings, so I think she could get in. The Academy loves her. And this category's, I don't know, I feel like the top 3 are guarantees, and then the next 2 are kind of open. So then for 3, I have Frances McDormand for Nomadland, 2, Viola Davis for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, and right now I see Vanessa Kirby winning for Pieces of a Woman.
Yeah.
How about you?
Similar top 3. Yeah. I have 13.
Oh, wow.
So I'm just going to go through them all. The last one's a fantasy, but I would just love to see it happen. Rachel McAdams in Eurovision.
Interesting, yeah. Globes.
I just love that movie. Globes, yeah. I'm kind of just manifesting it. Yeah. I just want to see it happen, so putting it out there.
Definitely.
She did such an amazing job. So my next 2 are Meryl Streep in The Prom and Jo Ellen Pellman in The Prom. They both did a good job. They were the best in the film, in my opinion. And Meryl Streep had this really funny line with Keegan-Michael Key. You know where she finishes singing in the principal's office? And she said people would have paid premium for that performance. And he said, not charging for an apology does not make you a good person. And she just looks at him and says, what the fuck? And that just made me so, that was just so incredible. So that I'd like to see her get nominated for that. But she's been nominated 22 times. Yeah. Literally. So come on. Give it to Pellman if you are going to go with The Prom.
I could see that. They love her so much. They nominated her for Into the Woods. So yeah. I think they could. I think if someone from that movie's getting nominated, it would probably be her.
Yeah, fair enough. I wouldn't be upset about it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Kristen Milioti in Palm Springs is next.
Yeah, she's great.
Globes. And I just love her as an actress.
Yeah.
I think she's so funny. In this film, she's magnetic, a true superstar, and I'd love to see her succeed.
Yeah.
The next 3 are very unlikely, but I'm putting them in there because maybe somewhere. Kristen Stewart in Happy Season, Julia Garner in The Assistant, and Amy Adams in Hillbilly Elegy.
Yes. Amy Adams is good in Hillbilly Elegy. The narrative on that is just, it's dead, I think. I don't think it's that bad of a movie. I know lots of people hate it. I think it's decent. I've seen worse movies get nominated for Oscars and win for performances. I think it's better than like Bohemian Rhapsody, or I know Vice. I hated Vice.
I love Vice. Come
Yeah,
on.
but I don't think it's that bad. But I don't know. I don't see it happening for her.
Yeah, it's such a shame too, because I really want her to win an Oscar. I love her.
Yeah,
And
I
she
don't
should
know.
have won for Vice.
Yeah, she was good for Vice. She should have been nominated at least for Arrival. But
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
That was sad.
yeah, true.
Talk about Meryl Streep not deserving a nomination. Florence Foster Jenkins, like, come on.
Oh yeah, yes,
That was sad. Anyways, next I have Zendaya in Malcolm and Marie.
yes,
Never
totally.
know.
Yeah, she just won an Emmy. So
Exactly. Um, I wasn't happy about her winning the Emmy, but I haven't watched Euphoria,
she's
and I
great.
have watched Ozark. So I wanted Laura Linney to win. I forgot her name for a second. I really wanted
Yeah.
Laura Linney to win because she's amazing on Ozark. Next year, fingers crossed for her. Anyways, Zendaya is kind of a bit of an industry favorite now.
Yeah.
So maybe.
Yeah.
Sophia Loren for The Life Ahead is a foreign film that I think could sneak in there.
Yeah, I've seen that. It just popped in recently, like, but yeah, totally possible.
It just came out.
Yeah.
So maybe that'd be nice for that actress.
Yeah, totally.
Who's apparently very famous, but I've never heard of her.
I haven't either. I think she did a lot of stuff when she was younger, and I don't know if this is like a comeback maybe, but I hadn't heard of her either.
Yeah, that's kind of the narrative around it.
Mm-hmm.
My next five, we've the same three. So my five is Carrie Mulligan in Promising Young Woman.
Yes, yeah. Definitely a contender.
That film will either happen or it won't, but definitely Golden Globes.
Yes, yeah, totally. I think she could win that. The Globe.
Oh, yeah. If Meryl Streep isn't nominated in comedy, then she will win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My four is Andra Day.
Yeah.
In the US versus Billie Holiday.
Yeah.
And people think it's likely. And I love her singing, so I'd love to see it happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it totally could happen. I just don't know enough about it right now. She's definitely like my 6 or 7. But I was a little too unsure about it to put it in the top 5.
Fair enough. I don't know a lot either, but there's a lot of kind of moving parts outside of the top 3, which are exactly the same. Frances McDormand in Nomadland, Viola Davis, Ma Rainey, and Vanessa Kirby in Pieces of a Woman.
Yeah, those 3 are locks. I can't see none of them getting snubbed.
Everyone else, I'm not sure though.
Yeah, it's an open race for everyone else. I was pretty sure a few, or even weeks ago, but months ago, about Viola Davis winning. But after the reviews coming out, people are saying she's honestly more of a supporting performance to Chadwick Boseman, but she's still being ran in Best Actress. I just think he could overtake The Shadow. Like, he could be the main buzz for that film.
Yeah.
And I think Vanessa Kirby is getting a lot of praise for Pieces of a Woman, so she's who I think would win right now.
I have that as well. I think she has the edge, but just a small edge.
Yeah.
I'd love to see someone new win, because
yeah, they like doing that.
Those two have already won before.
The actress categories too. What's it called? The ingenues. They don't do it for the guys.
Yeah.
They like rewarding younger upcoming actresses, and it sounds like she is worthy. So.
I will never forget Frances McDormand beating Margot Robbie in I, Tonya. I was so upset.
Yes.
I was so upset.
Funny
and also
thing.
Sally Hawkins.
Yeah, I just watched 3 Billboards and I, Tonya, both within like 2 days of each other for the first time this past week. And I watched...
The first time?
It's the first time for both of them, yeah. And I watched 3 Billboards first, and I was like, oh, I can totally see why she won for this. But then I watched I, Tonya, and especially during that final like court scene with her talking about like how skating is all she has, and she's like being told she can't skate anymore. I was like, how did she not win for this? It was much better, I think, but at least she got nominated.
Yeah, it was her first nomination, and Birds of Prey could happen at the Globes for Robbie just because the Globes love nominating kind of indie actors who do blockbusters. So Johnny Depp for a while consistently got Golden Globe nominations,
Yeah,
Alice in Wonderland, and
yeah,
different things like that. They sometimes do that, so maybe that could happen for Birds of Prey, especially
mhm,
since it could be very dry in comedy. So we don't really know.
yeah,
I'd like to see that from Margot Robbie, and she can maybe even win if it's weak.
yeah,
If she's going up against Carrie Mulligan and not Meryl Streep, it could be like a tie.
yeah.
I'd love to see her finally win something. She hasn't won a lot.
No, she hasn't, but she'll definitely win something soon. Within the
Mm.
next 5 years, I think she'll probably have an Oscar.
That film she's doing, the who is it? She's doing a new film. It's like a
David
really
O.
big.
Russell, right?
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
David O. Russell.
she could totally win for that if it's.
Mm.
I don't know what it's about, but
Mm.
it's an Oscar film already, just because of everyone involved.
Yeah, American Hustle is one of my favorite films. It's brilliant.
Hmm.
Amy Adams plays one of the best performances ever.
Hmm.
So I'd love that from Margot Robbie. Bring on the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, yeah. That's soon. HBO Max. Okay, so that's Best Actress. Now we are going to go on to Best Actor. So my top 5 for Best Actor.
Of course.
At 5, I
Is that
have.
everything you have for actors?
Yes. Do you have more?
No. That's everything for me. You finished everything, yeah?
Yeah, I got all. I just really did my top 5, just because everything else is just so up in the air for me. You pretty much covered everyone else who I would think has a
Yeah.
shot at it. So for Best Actor, though, at 5, I have Riz Ahmed for Sound of Metal, which I recently saw, and I think it's the best lead actor performance I've seen this year so far. I just don't know how good of a shot it has. I wish it had a better chance.
Oh.
Yeah, but 4, Gary Oldman
Yeah.
for Mank. I don't think he's that good in it, but they're gonna eat that stuff up. So 3, Delroy Lindo for The Five Bloods. He's the lock for
He
that.
wasn't that good in Darkest Hour either, and he won.
Gary Oldman. Yeah, that was a lot
Yeah.
about the makeup, I think, more than the performance.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the makeup was great, but
Yeah.
at the same time, Gary Oldman was like the person I wanted to win the least. He was, I mean, Chalamet for Call Me by Your Name was there,
Yeah.
and there was someone else who I really wanted to win. I can't remember. Daniel Kaluuya,
Mm-hmm.
and I
He was
can't
there.
remember the other people, but there was who?
What was it? Chalamet, Kaluuya, Oldman. What was this? 2017.
Yeah,
Hmm.
trying to think of the Best Picture nominees.
Yeah.
Lady Bird, Darkest. I can't think off the top of my head at all. But I know I was really rooting for someone else. But yeah, he should not have won that. You know, even though I don't love Call Me by Your Name, Timothy Chalamet really should have taken it.
That last shot too. He nailed that.
He just did a bad impression, especially of such a horrible guy.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, moving on. He's your number 4.
Yes, he is my number 4. 3 was Delroy Lindo for Da 5 Bloods. I think that's the one person from that movie or nomination, I think, from that movie that's a lock. I can't see that not happening right now. Then at number 2, I have Anthony Hopkins for The Father. And then number 1, I have Chadwick Boseman for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. I feel like if there's one acting category that is the closest to a lock right now, it would be this category, just because both great actor taken far too soon from the industry and the world, and the buzz for his performance is just crazy.
Yeah. We have the exact same list except for number 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So my 5 is Riz Ahmed. My 4 is Gary Oldman. My 3 is Stephen Yeun in Minari.
Oh, yes. He would be my 6 right now.
My 6 is Delroy Lindo.
Oh, you don't see him getting in? You don't think so?
I just don't know. It could either be
Yeah.
him or Riz Ahmed or Stephen Yeun. I think it's a race between all those
Hmm.
to see
And
who gets it. So right now I just have Delroy Lindo at number 6 because The Five Bloods came out longer ago,
yeah.
so I don't really know how that's going to affect it.
Hmm.
But my number 2, Anthony Hopkins. My number 1, Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah.
Pretty much settled.
Yeah. Those are definitely the top two. I think it's,
Mm.
yeah, pretty much settled. Chadwick is likely going to win this unless, I don't know, some crazy campaign or buzz is started for any of these people, but I don't think any of that buzz could surpass the whole buzz
Mm.
that he has around his performance here.
Yeah. I have 2 other actors who maybe could sneak in,
Okay,
but I'm not sure.
go ahead.
One is John David Washington.
For Tenet or for Malcolm and Marie?
For I don't really know which one in yet, but I
Mhm.
just think that he was so good in Tenet. He carries the film. He's at a distance. I kind of appreciated that though. He was just a very cool and collected performance in that. But we'll also see what Malcolm and Marie shapes up to be.
Mhm.
We don't really know right now.
Yeah,
So I'm just putting him there because I think he deserves a nomination after being snubbed for Black Klansman,
yeah, yeah, he does. Totally.
which was hurt.
Yeah.
But my other actor who I would just really want to see is Ben Affleck for The Way Back.
Yes, yes, I forgot about that. I know you really like that movie, right? Wasn't that your favorite movie of the year for a while?
It's still my favorite movie of the
It
year. It
still
just is
is.
in a bit of a race with it's The Hunt, The Way Back, and Happiest Season are all at my top 3. But right now, The Way Back would just be my favorite.
Yeah. Yeah. He's great in it. I just similar to other
Mm.
movies, like I don't think Elizabeth Moss is sadly going to get in for Invisible Woman, even though she's deserving. It's just so long ago that the movies came out that I don't know about it.
Yeah. It is a shame because I think they were both so good, especially the Invisible Man extended cut was just
Yeah,
phenomenal.
yeah.
Really
I
amazing.
understand that. She's great in it though.
Hmm. But I suppose, yeah, she would be another one for actress.
Yeah, I
Just
completely
long
forgot
shot.
about her.
Yeah, long shot.
Hmm.
It's sad, but you know, she'll hopefully have another chance.
Yeah, yeah. But in this category, I think honestly, I just really hope Riz Ahmed gets in. Either Riz Ahmed or I haven't seen Minari, but Stephen Young too,
Mm.
one of the two indie performances.
Yeah.
Just because I think he is easily the best lead actor performance I've seen this year. His character
Oh,
goes through a lot. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to watch that movie then.
Yeah. Amazon Prime, I believe. Very good.
Perfect. Okay, so will we move on now to supporting actress?
Yes, we do. Do you want to go with your list first?
I'll go ahead. Yeah. I'll start at the top and move down because my list starts a bit crazy. At the bottom. So my number 1 is Amanda Seyfried in Mank.
Mm-hmm. I could see that.
Is she good in it?
She's easily the best performance in it. I honestly don't see it as
Hmm.
like it doesn't stick out like wow, this is like such an amazing performance to me at least, like an Oscar-worthy performance. But I have heard some people say like wow, this is an Oscar-worthy performance, and it's a relatively weak category right now, so I could see her winning.
Yeah. Fair enough. She's my number 1 because that's what everyone else is saying. But I still have to
Yeah.
watch the film. And I promise I'll do it soon. Olivia Colman in The Father is my number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Naturally. She's just a big player here. I have Ellen Burstyn in Pieces of a Woman at number 3.
Yep.
I don't really know a lot about it, but I just know she has a very lasting impact on that film, and it's powerful. So
Mhm.
she could even win
She
because she's
could.
supposed to be incredible.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens when that film comes out, but it could happen. My next is Yo Jung Yoon. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but she's a Minari. Then I
Hmm.
have Glenn Close in Hillbilly Elegy. Those are kind of the top five. I have a few there to kind of get through who could maybe
Hmm.
break through, but I
Yeah.
don't really see it. Helena Zengel in News of the World.
Yeah.
I love child actors.
Hmm.
In these films, they can do really powerful work. So Helena Zengel, I think, wouldn't have been chosen if she wasn't going to do a great job. So I
Hmm.
think she could do it. A lot of people are saying Maria Bakalova in Borat 2
Yeah.
could get through.
I
In the
don't
Golden Globe,
definitely for the Golden Globes. I think she'll be nominated, but I don't
mm,
see it happening at the Oscars.
well, Borat 2, in my opinion, is one of the worst films of the year because of how disappointing and unfunny it was. I just thought it was a huge missed opportunity.
Hmm.
So she was my favorite part of the film, but at the same time, I don't want to see that film get any nominations
Yeah.
because I thought just that was that bad. But I would like to see her rewarded, so it's a double-edged sword for me. So
Hmm.
I have her at my number 7.
Cool.
8 is Elizabeth Debicki in Tenet, who was just really good. I'd like to see her get some recognition at this point.
Yeah. I honestly don't think that has any chance of happening, but she was great in it.
Yeah, I could see it maybe from like the angle of no, you're right, it's not going to happen, but I would just have to put it out there because I just like her as an actress.
Yeah.
Jodie Foster in The Mauritanian, I think is how you say it.
Oh, yes,
It's
yes. That trailer came out recently. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Jodie Foster doing Jodie Foster. I love Jodie Foster, so
Hmm.
never know, could happen. It's been I think definitely Golden Globes type play like Annette Bening in The
Yeah.
Report, stuff like that, Kathy Bates type style, and I'd
Yeah.
like to see that happen for Jodie Foster
Yeah.
because I want to see her work more.
Yeah. Yeah. She hasn't shown up a lot recently, just bashing comic book movies. So,
Mm, I'll forget that ever happened. Because I have three more that are never going to happen,
go
but
ahead.
you
Yeah.
never know if things could get interesting. Aubrey Plaza and Mackenzie Davis in Happiest Season, never going to happen, but they
Yeah.
were just really good.
They were. Yeah.
And I have no idea. I don't know because I haven't seen Wonder Woman 1984, so I don't know how this works. But maybe Kristen Wiig does a really good job and nails it, like a Michelle Pfeiffer type Batman Returns performance.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah. I
but
don't
I'd
know.
love
Yeah.
to see it happen
Yeah.
because she looks like she has a really strong arc from this preyed upon woman to the prayer. The predator. She becomes instead of being weak, she becomes, she, I don't know how it happens. It's like a stupid wishing stone or something that Maxwell
Something.
Lord has. It seems really stupid to me, but
Yeah.
it could happen. Mm.
Yeah.
But
It
that's
could.
just all by supporting actress. What's yours?
We had the same top five, just in a different order. So at five, I think I'm also going to butcher her name. Jung Yeon from Minari. Four, I have Ellen Bernstein for Pieces of a Woman. Three, I have Amanda
Mm.
Seyfried for Mank. Two, I have Olivia Colman for The Father. And I still have Glenn Close for Hillbilly Elegy at number one. That's the
Hmm.
only thing I see happening for that movie. I still don't feel confident about it just because of how much hate it's gotten.
Yeah.
But she is easily the best part of that film. She's great in it. I
Everyone
also,
says the
yeah,
women in the film were the best part.
yeah, yeah. The lead actor kind of definitely drags it down a little. He's not that great.
Mm. I haven't seen it yet either.
Yeah,
I have seen a lot of films.
I think she's in. I don't know. I haven't seen The Father. I hear great things about Olivia Colman. Honestly, I think you're right that Ellen Bernstein could sneak in and just take the whole thing. Especially since
Mm.
that movie hasn't come out yet. There hasn't been the narrative or buzz to develop yet. And just kind of as justice for what was her name from The Farewell last year? Do you
I
remember
know her name.
the
Hold
grandma?
on. I know her name. I have it
I
in my
know
head.
it too.
I'll think.
But yeah, as justice for that, I'll give
Oh,
you a few
no, I'm
seconds to
looking that
think.
up.
Okay, as justice
No,
for
hold on.
or The Farewell. Yeah, I think she should get in. Sh-
I can no.
Is it Zhao Shuzhen?
Yes, that's it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's so
Yeah.
She deserved to win supporting actress. Laura Dern had a glorified cameo in Marriage Story.
Mhm.
Like, she was good, but she had like 2 minutes of screen time.
Yeah,
What the
that was a
fuck?
career. That was a career Oscar, but
Yeah. Oh,
she deserved
she
the
was
nomination.
snubbed.
Yeah.
She made me cry, and no one else did that last year.
Yeah.
She
She
was
was
just so
great.
phenomenal. That was a shame.
That was a shame, indeed. Yeah.
So
So
was that
that's
everyone you
pretty.
have for supporting actress?
Yeah.
Supporting actor time.
Yeah. Definitely supporting actor time. Okay. So I'll go first here. So for my top 5, this is also a weird category to me, kind of like supporting actress. At 5, I have Mark Rylance for Trial of Chicago 7. At 4,
Mm.
I've heard a lot of recent buzz about this. Stanley Tucci in Supernova.
Yes.
Yeah. At 3, I have Yahya Abdul-Mateen II in Trial of Chicago
Mm.
7. 2, Sacha Baron Cohen in Trial of Chicago 7. And 1, I have Leslie Odom Jr. in One Night in Miami.
Fair enough. I think that's a pretty spot on list. For me, it was so hard to do the homework on this because everyone in One Night in Miami and Trial of Chicago 7 could win and be
Yeah.
nominated. Quite literally, every single person in those films could win and be nominated. You didn't
Mhm.
mention Frank Langella in Trial
Yeah.
of Chicago 7. He's a very strong chance.
Yeah.
Daniel Kaluuya as well has a really big shot for that film if that comes out in time.
Yes. I forgot about that. He's being run in supporting actor. I'm pretty sure it wasn't on Gold Derby, so I don't know. Oh wait, it is on
Yeah.
Gold Derby. He may be my number 1 actually. If they're running him in
Yeah.
supporting, I think he has a good chance of winning that actually. So I guess maybe kick out
If
one of the Trial Chicago 7 boys from my list and put in Daniel Kaluuya.
For me, my current number 1, if Daniel Kaluuya isn't in here, is Stanley Tucci, because everyone's saying, "Oh, he's going to win." It's like that type of performance.
Yeah.
Um, Other than that, the only other person to have to break through here is Robert Pattinson in Tenet,
He's
which I think
good.
is unlikely because I think the category is so locked in with those 2 films, Stanley Tucci and Daniel Kaluuya.
Mhm.
So it's pretty much the One Night in Miami, Chicago 7 show. So it's all
Yeah.
it's like who's going to win. I'd love to see it be Yaya or Frank Langella,
Mhm.
but I suppose we'll see.
Yeah. Has it ever happened before that a film gets 3 acting nominations in one category? The most I've seen is 2. I just don't know
I
about
don't think
3.
I know. I don't think that I'm. Wow, I'm really not sure. I know Thelma and Louise got 2 in
Yeah.
the one.
It's
Stuff I can't think. No, I don't think so.
yeah, I think maybe 2 of the Trial of Chicago 7 people and
Hmm.
probably just Leslie Odom Jr. for One Night in Miami will get in.
Yeah, and then it'll be Stanley Tucci and Daniel Kaluuya. Supporting actor by far is the most boring and predictable category.
Yeah, it's boring. It's definitely predictable, like who's gonna get in. I don't know who's gonna win, honestly. I could see
Yeah.
any. I hope not Mark Rylance, just because I'm still not over him beating Sylvester Stallone. That was rude of him.
Oh yeah.
He had a choice, but Yaya, I think, is definitely worthy. He also just won an Emmy. Sacha Baron Cohen, he's good in it, but I don't know. He also has the Borat
Oh
2.
yeah, I forgot about him. Sasha. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know who could win. Yeah. If Daniel Kaluuya is in it in this category, I think he would win, honestly.
Yes. For me, I have it either him or Stanley Tucci, but genuinely, I think anyone can.
Yeah.
Anyone.
It's definitely still a flexible category.
Mm.
So, do you have anything else for supporting actor? Or do you want to go on to adapted screenplay?
We'll go ahead to adapted because that was a really boring category.
Yeah, it was kind of boring. Do you want to go with your list first?
Sure.
Okay.
I have only 6. Nomadland, number 1.
Mm-hmm.
My number 2 is One Night in Miami. My number 3 is The Father. Number 4 is Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Number 5 is News of the World. And my only other potential one is just something that I think will never happen, but that I'd love to see is Happiest Season. Not going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. I
That
don't see it
top
happening,
5
but-
seems solid enough to me.
Mhm. Yeah, that's the same top 5 I have. 1, Nomadland. Two, One Night in Miami. 3, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. 4, The Father. And 5, News of the World.
Seems pretty solid.
Yeah, I don't know who could win. I don't know how much of a script kind of movie Nomadland is. It seems kind of more like a wandering movie. I don't know how much plot per se there is. One Night in Miami, I think, does have a good shot, but the same writer, he's got 2 films nominated for separate categories this year, but I don't think he's going to win the other one. So he could win this one.
Okay. Is he an original screenplay?
He is. Kemp Powers. He is the writer for One Night in Miami and for Soul.
Ah, yes. So I suppose we may as well move on to original screenplay.
Yes.
Where I have Soul at number 3.
I have it at number 2.
Oh, yeah. It could really win. I think it really could if it's that good.
If it can beat Sorkin, that's who I have at 1. Sorkin and his scripts, they're always winning. But
Has he won an Oscar?
For writing? Yeah, he has won for writing before. He's never won for
let's not be boring and let's get someone else to win.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't like people winning twice.
Kemp should win, Kemp Powers. But I don't know. They like their Sorkin scripts and their witty dialogue. Yeah. So that's why that's 1 for me. 2, Soul. 3, Mank. Not a great script, but just because his dad wrote it as a movie.
Oh, yeah.
His dad passed away and then he adapted it. So it has a narrative for it. And then I have Judas and the Black Messiah, if that comes out, at 4.
Yeah.
And then at 5, I'm hoping Minari can sneak in there.
Oh, that's a pretty good. See, I did not put Judas and the Black Messiah in here, any of my predictions, because I'm not sure if it will come out or not.
Yeah.
I just don't know. So I think that if it does come out, it probably does have a strong chance. For me, I had Trial of Chicago 7 at number 1, Mank at number 2, Soul at number 3, Minari at number 4, and Promising Young Woman at number 5.
Yeah, I could see Promising Young Woman getting in there.
The other 3 I had were The Five Bloods. Don't really know. Palm Springs, so solid, airtight script that I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it get in there.
Yeah, could sneak in there like Knives Out did last year.
Yeah. That's. I'd love to see that happen, and it could be the only thing it gets.
Yeah, I think if it were to get in, that would probably be the only at the Oscars the only thing it would get.
Yeah. And the last film I have is Tenet for script.
Yeah. I just honestly I don't see it getting into any of these major categories. I think like I don't know about visual effects, but or sound. It's definitely gonna get nominated for a lot of the technicals. I don't know how many it's gonna win. I hope it doesn't win sound, just because the sound is not good in it. I think personally. It has great cinematography. It'll probably get in there.
Score.
Score, definitely score, yeah. I think Soul could potentially win score right now.
Oh, yes. It has a big buzz.
Yeah. Yeah. That's about it for Tenet.
Do you have anything else to add for screenplay, or maybe any just dark horses?
For this screenplay category, I think it's pretty much about it. Sound of Metal I'd like to see get in there, but again, that's more of an indie film, and I think Minari's going to take a lot of the indie attention for that category. They usually only like to get like 1 indie movie in there. They didn't even let The Farewell get in there last year, so
don't remind me.
Yeah. So that's about it, I think, for Screenplay for me. Do you have anything else you want to add about Screenplay or the
No.
Oscars in general?
Well, I have nothing else to add for Screenplay, but the Oscars think they're going to happen, which I think is really cute.
Yeah. They're saying in person too, which I think was stupid to say right now. Wait until the date gets closer.
Well, what I'm thinking they could do is, instead of having the big, massive audience, I think what they'll have is every single nominee can come with one person, and that's it.
Then just spread them out.
Yeah. I think that could make it possible.
Yeah, especially it's not until, I forget when in April, but it's in April. Honestly, I wish they didn't do the deadline push. You can have the ceremony in April if you think it's more likely to be in person. That's fine by me. But I only see like 1 or 2 movies that are coming out in January or February that would be big contenders.
Yeah.
So I honestly don't think it was worth it cutting off 2 years for next year's ceremony for this year. I don't think it did that much.
Well, I suppose we'll see. The vaccine is supposed to be, well, it's been approved for here, my country, the UK, and some other places. I think it's been in the US as well for emergency distribution.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that could have a positive effect on whether or not this stuff can happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Definitely going to be some interesting winning speeches. Definitely. That'll be fun to watch.
I swear to God, if they get preachy, I will.
Yeah.
I'd get really angry because that would really piss me off.
Yeah. Just accept your award, thank your people, talk about global warming or something if you want, but don't get too political.
Do exactly what Ricky Gervais. Yes, that's what Ricky Gervais said this year. He was so right.
Yes. And I think another positive of holding, lots of people wanted the ceremony to take in 2020 and 2021 movies and then happen in 2022. But I think it's positive that they're doing it for this year just because there's lots of movies that I think would have gone underlooked that aren't this year. And I think it's a much more diverse pool of people. Like it's looking like we're going to have the first Black woman and Asian woman nominated for Best Director. So
yeah,
that's great. And there's diversity in pretty much all the categories. So I think it was a good idea for them to happen.
And also the first Asian man nominated for Best Actor was Stephen Yeun.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. That would be great.
Fingers crossed.
Yes. Okay. So that is what we think of the Oscars, the major categories, and just overall the big contenders for this upcoming 2021 ceremony in April. Still 4 months to go, so we'll probably, as the ceremony gets closer and the narratives continue to change, do some new episodes. But as of right now, wrapping out the end of the year, this is our thoughts on the Oscar ceremony. I was joined by Ben Campbell. Ben, do you have anything you would like to plug?
I suppose the Council podcast, which, you have been a member, you have been a guest on.
Great podcast.
Oh, thank you very much. We do it every Sunday. We'll be recording it in about 15 minutes. I'm going to do that right after this.
Cool.
And if you like to talk all things film, we would love to talk it with you. We have guests on, so you can maybe even be on the show with all of us. It's on Spotify, at the Council Pod, on Twitter as well. All the information is up there. You can find it. That's all I have to plug. So thank you for that.
Recommend checking them out. It's awesome. And if you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel, feel free to do that, or just like the video if you want to. Not really going to force you to, but do what you want. And that's all. Goodbye, everyone.